welcome to the Developer Stream. My name is Paweł Burzan. I'm as always joined by Michał Luigi Dobrowolski. Luigi, how are you?
Yeah, fine. A bit cold, but it's good.
Yeah, we have proper winter now in Poland, so it's snowing outside, which is really, really cool. And I'll pretty much tell you what we're going to do today. So today, we're first going to show you a premiere of A Round of Gwent episode 4. And after that, we'll go to show you some new things. So if you like leaks, double E of course, since this is official, you'll enjoy what you see. So let's maybe start with A Round of Gwent and enjoy the show, and we'll be back.
We'll be back.
And I'm gonna need real push.
Yeah, there are a lot of Easter eggs coming up.
Yeah, she's gonna be moving like this, traveling, it's gonna be cool.
Hi everybody and welcome to A Round of Gwent episode 4. So as always, I am joined by co-host Paweł Burzan.
Hey guys.
And today we have special guests Abby and Lorenzo who are going to be telling us a bit about the cards within Gwent, how they're created, and how you go from static cards to the amazing premium cards which we see in the game. We're also going to be learning a bit about the evolution of the cards over Gwent's lifetime. So would you like to tell everybody at home what your role is in the company?
I work as an animator on Gwent, and my favorite faction is monsters.
Nice.
That's not my favorite faction.
Oh, absolutely.
I prefer Skoya, seriously.
Yeah, exactly,
Yes.
the best faction.
So yeah, my name is Lorenzo and I'm an illustrator and I love card games, so I'm very happy to be part of the team.
Yeah.
I'm not the only one who loves card games here.
Me too.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we play a lot.
So you're responsible for the kind of static arts and then you make them come to life. Is that about right?
That's right.
I'm the first step, you are the third
step.
maybe.
Yeah. I'm
It's a
the
bit
third
weird to think that way, but
Yeah.
most likely that.
Yeah, it's like a pipeline. You start with something and then you move
Yeah.
on to the next. It's really cool. But if we go back, you remember we had Gwent as addition to The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, and then step by step we're kind of changing the art style, improving it. How did the process pretty much look? Because like the versions in The Witcher 3, they didn't have the cool banners, they weren't as shiny, glossy, and they didn't have the new frames, and also you were not limited as to as many gold cards you can have in your deck. But then kind of we started developing them and making them a lot more different. And I think also like Nilfgaard was a big part as when the art style changed and improved. So could you maybe, Lorenzo, talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, it's funny because the Gwent started as like some kind of improvement of the dice poker from The Witcher 1 and 2. So I think at the time we just wanted to add this kind of feeling of, okay, it's a mini game, but it has to feel you have to feel this kind of old cool game feeling. So all the cards, they were looking like more or less like tarot cards, I would say. So with very static pose, and that was cool, and we really enjoyed that. But when we decided to go for a standalone thing, a game, we were like, we have to come up with something more dynamic, like we're going to showcase a lot of characters so they just don't have to stand. And also we had this idea of making them premium, so with this animation. So of course you can guess that the people were not going to stand like this and doing like
one pose.
So yeah, I think that's the reason why we tried to, like you said.
Yeah, I mean,
going
just
for
from
more
animation point of view, if you see the old cards, the characters are basically just standing as if they're, a portrait, and that doesn't give much room for imagination in terms of animation on what you can do with the characters. So all you could do is just make the character look around, and that's not very interesting compared to the cards that you see now, where someone is killing someone, or for example, Geralt is throwing Igni. So you have more room for VFX and animation and ideas. So yeah, I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and you were mentioning the evolution with Nilfgaard, and I think that's because we had a lot of new illustrators coming working for Gwent, because we needed a lot of cards actually, and we pretty much kind of run out of ideas of okay, so this character is standing with a sword, okay, this guy is shooting with an arbalest. And at some point we just had to come up with like new compositions, new colors. And the cool thing is that we have kind of a lot of space in each cards to use our ideas. It's not like we had just a small frame. I mean, the whole card is visible in the battlefield, which is really cool for us.
I personally really enjoy the kind of parallax effect where you're able to move the card around and see kind of around the corner. It really
Peek around the corner.
Yeah, it lends itself to like the immersion of the cards.
But this has a cool story actually, because when we were thinking about making premium cards, our art director, Kasia Redeshu, she was really looking for something different for the premium cards, and she came out at the studio with this picture of a cat. I love this story, and it was like
what story is this?
It was a gif of a cat, like very psychedelic with
Like
3D
cool
effects.
colors moving back and forth, and it was like
And I think she showed it to Adam Badowski, and
it's like that's the premium version.
that's the premium version. It has to look like this. I'm not sure.
And the rest is history.
Yeah.
Still, there were a lot of work, and I think the first premium cards was an Aracas.
Okay.
It was looking very cool.
I remember when you tilted the card, you could see that there was a little mouse in the corner. It was like, it was like what you said, adding a little bit of backstory to it, like adding a little bit more to the card.
Yeah. So could you tell us a little bit about the process of creating all of these wonderful premium cards that we have in Gwent? So you'll obviously start with some kind of idea based in the lore, I guess, and then come up with versions.
So usually the writers of the game, they come up with a pitch that we read, and we try to respect that pitch. But when we come up with new ideas, of course, there is no issues. So this is how it starts. We provide 3 sketches, and then we just gather all the illustrators. We just gather, and we choose one of those 3 sketches. And once it's done, we just work and to achieve the illustration. And then we pass to those dudes to do the hard work.
So once the illustration is done, we pass it to the modeling department, who then creates the model of the illustration, and then we work on the animation. So depending on the illustration, if the character is from the game, then we look at the Witcher games and see if the character has any specific movements, what was the role in the game, and then we implement that on the cards. But if the character is not from the game, we have to do some background research, similar to a detective, what's his story, and if he's a good guy or a bad guy, what are its characteristics. And once all of that research is done, we see the illustration and try to understand what is the story that is being told in the illustration, and if we can justify the art with the animation and VFX on top of it. So one example is of one of the crones, Wispus, and she has some twitching going on, so that was in the game, so we added that in the card as well to stay true to the character, so she's just not another creepy old lady.
Yeah, but that's not the best part, right? Sometimes when I'm working around the studio, I see you acting kind of weird. I recognize the cards.
As animators, we have different approaches that we take towards animating the cards. So some of our animators actually act it out. So if they're working on a character, they are going to record themselves and just repeat the movements, and they actually get into the mood of the character. So it looks quite funny, especially when they're shooting outside, because inside people know what they're doing, but outside, when you're walking around, you're taking a stroll, and there's this guy who's just being a weird person running around.
Creepy dude outside.
That can go terribly wrong in so many ways. Some person just looking at a guy and calling the cops. There's this weird person doing something, and then next day, one of the animators is missing.
That's
but luckily that didn't happen. And I personally listen to music when I'm working. Not that kind of music.
No, that was terrible.
Yeah. But for example, when I worked on Heim, the illustration was so creepy. To come up with ideas, I was listening to the soundtrack from The Conjuring, because it's just so depressing in a good way. It actually set my mood, and you can actually visualize what's going on. So yeah, it helps a lot. And you can take references online as well.
Yeah. So there are lots of ways that the animating team get into the zone.
Yes,
Some
you
people
have to go into that zone and not get out of it until the animation is done.
Yeah. So we've obviously got some hidden acting talents within the team here as well.
Yeah.
Oscar-winning performances.
But it's also for the static illustrations. Like, for example, if you want to show a pose, you most likely need someone to sit down and take a photo.
Oh yeah, we do that a lot. Basically, most of the pictures I have on my phone is like pictures of my own hands. It's kind of weird, because right, like the hands are the most tricky part of the human anatomy to draw.
Yeah.
And so we do that a lot. Also, like you said, we're just taking the pose for. So basically, we have lots of plastic swords at the studio that we use. They look kind of ridiculous because they're made of they're made from foam.
Like foam, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I saw those. I was like, well, why do they need those? It's
We
like,
need
do they
those.
fight in between? Or?
I mean, I wish we had the proper equipment like you do. Where's your sword, by the way?
It actually fell down. Here it is.
Taking a
Take care of your sword, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what we do, because we really need to be as realistic as possible.
Yeah.
And in that case, you really don't do that without a proper reference. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I think everyone really appreciates the art within the game. It's one of the kind of main selling points of Gwent is the beautiful art which you guys create and how immersive the cards are, and the attention to detail, as well as the little Easter eggs which come along with some of the cards as well.
You have to be patient to find
Yeah.
those
There
Easter
are a lot
eggs.
of Easter eggs coming up. Yeah.
The one I like is the one with Regis, which is one of the cards that you enjoy, right?
Yeah, I love Regis. He's
But
like
don't tell
one of my
anybody
favorite
what's
characters.
happening after 5 minutes.
5 minutes, yeah. You have to watch the card for 5
5
minutes, and then you will
Okay.
see what happens.
Yeah.
You really gotta be
It's
patient.
a little
Awesome.
detail, but I think players, not most of them actually caught that
Yeah.
Easter egg. So it's like actually one of the good
Yeah.
ones.
So could you tell us a bit about maybe like what your favorite card is, your favorite premium card in the game?
My favorite premium card is Vilgefortz. I saw that card and he's just absolutely destroying that person with fire, and
That
he's
person.
No spoilers.
yeah.
Who's that person? I don't know.
well, after his face is burned, we probably never know who that person was anyway. But yeah, he looks so menacing, and he's like enjoying what he's doing, and I
Yeah,
absolutely
he's
love that. I was
grinning,
like,
doesn't he?
Yeah, it's like that card turns me evil. It's like, if I get that power, I'd totally do that
Yeah.
as well.
Oh.
I wonder who acted that one out. You have to watch out for them.
Yes, I'll totally do that.
Sometimes we really look forward for the animation. Like when Nemanja was illustrating this card, we're like, okay, so that can be out of control,
yeah.
and it did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's your favorite premium
My favorite card has also the best name. It's Asire Var Anahid.
Yeah.
It's the lady
got
with
that
the cat portal. I think it's a crazy idea, and I
Cat
love it.
portal.
Like the VFX guys that just came out with this kind of different color atmosphere at some point, and I think it's really well done.
Yeah.
And also, it's very psychedelic.
Yeah, definitely.
You were mentioning that you love to listen to creepy songs.
Oh, yes,
and I love
you got
to
into the
listen to
mood, yeah.
psychedelic rock music. I think it fits.
It fits into the whole Illustrator persona. Talking about new things, we also have 3 new premiums that we want to showcase.
Yes, we've got a bit of a reveal today.
Yes,
Is it a leak?
it is a leak.
Oh.
You know I love leaks. So we have a new version of Geralt, Erden.
Would you like to
And-
tell us
yeah.
maybe a bit about Erden and how it was created or who created it?
So yeah, I think this card was made by Anna Podedvorna, and the cool thing is that it showcases a Noon Wraith in the background,
Yeah.
and it fits perfectly the quest actually in the game,
Yeah,
where
The
it's
Witcher
the
3.
first time that it really gets important, and you can that's the only way to fight a Noon Wraith, right?
Yeah, definitely. The sign is very fitting. So what have we got so far? We've got Quen, we've got Ard, Erden
It was
now,
Igni.
Yeah.
Igni, obviously.
Yeah.
Erden
So
now.
Axie maybe on the horizon.
Yeah.
I
Who
hope the
knows?
next
Who knows?
the next one will be Geralt Vodka.
Yeah, I think I like that idea. That should be a card.
Yeah, in Yennefer's clothes.
In the party in
Yeah,
Camoran, that'll be perfect.
Okay, so we said we have the new Geralt, but we also have a new Ciri as well.
Yes.
This is version 3 of Ciri.
Ooh, this one was hard to create.
What's up with the hands like?
Yeah.
What's that? Tell
Well,
me more.
Guess
Tell me
what?
more.
Guess what's happening? She's traveling between the worlds.
Whoa.
So
Okay.
That was the idea, and because she's not doing it in the game, that was kind of hard to come up with an idea of okay, what does it look like? So what I wanted to showcase is like part of her body are in different dimensions. So basically, you can see that she doesn't have like 4 different arms. Of course, it's just that they are
Yeah.
kind of warping around her. It also gives this kind of clockwork feeling. That so I was very like curious to see what the animators and the
Will
VFX
do
artists
with it.
were
Yeah.
going to do with this one, because I was like, I don't even really understand what's going on here,
Yeah.
but they will figure out.
So how did you find tackling this problem of making traveling between different dimensions translate to 2D?
The concept was so tricky that how do you show that in animation? Because it's not a 3D model, so you can't rotate Ciri around. You can't like put her wherever you want. But we took reference from the fight in Kaer Morhen, where Ciri loses all her control, and she's like screaming, and all the energy around her, and the card looked very similar. So we thought, okay, let's try that. So we have an intro for the card where she screams, and everything, the energy, everything is just going up, and she's screaming. And what we thought we can do with the hand, instead of animating the hand separately behind her, to not make it look like it's a different hand, we thought it's just going to follow the same path of her original hand. It's just that it's going to jitter so that it looks like she's losing the control of her powers, and she's kind of teleporting but not teleporting,
like
and glitching.
Through the Matrix.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's pretty
Glitching
cool.
like Roach.
And then the VFX guys added on top of that, and they made the energy look so intense that I think it'll be very clear what's going on. It won't be as confusing.
Yeah, you guys did a very good job. Thank you for that. That was not an easy one.
Yeah.
I don't think it was an easy concept for anyone, 'cause
Definitely.
how do you show
Traveling
that?
through space and time is
Yes,
quite hard
it's so
to put in
abstract.
card
How do you
form.
do
It's
that?
difficult to get what Lorenzo had in his mind when he was listening to psychedelic rock, and they're going like, yeah, she's gonna be moving like this, traveling, it's gonna be cool. And then the guys were like, I don't see it. Oh wait, okay.
But I think you start to understand me. That's
Yeah. See?
Yeah, I really like the consistency through lots of cards which have a similar kind of experience. So we have this version of Ciri, and also Pavetta and Ithleen, who are all kind of, I think they're known as sources, and they're like channeling
that's
their
right.
powers.
Channeling the
Right.
powers.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
That's really, really cool. Talking about impressive things, the third card that we have is Uma, the most requested card by the community. Like my favorite character,
The
just
cutest.
because it's cute
It's
and
adorable.
creepy at the same time. And yeah, it's just jumping up and down trying to catch a butterfly.
Does he catch it at some point? No, come on. He's not cruel.
No,
Maybe there's
he,
an Easter egg.
he doesn't
No,
catch.
I don't think he's like cruel
Catch
to
it and
animals. He's just like that would be cruel.
Did you do that, guys? No.
No, but the animator who worked on it actually recorded himself. And
Skipping outside.
yes, he was outside the studio recording himself, twisting his legs like Uma with his hands, even the facial expression and the neck.
Wow.
And he was just running around, and we watched it. We were like, "What is he doing?" And but he did it so well. If you see Uma and his performance, it's like you wouldn't know which is the real one.
It's
It
true. I've
was,
seen the video and I can tell.
it's an Oscar-winning performance, and everyone needs to see that.
I think we need to see that video.
I think definitely need to see that.
It's also a lot of hidden acting talents within the
A lot
art
of them,
department here.
yeah. Sometimes it gets a bit dangerous, because they're getting the characters so much. We sometimes need to get a psychiatrist.
To get them out, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, you're not this person. And then they have multiple personality disorder because they've worked on so many cards.
Wow.
Yeah.
Be an animator.
Yeah. It'll be fun, they said. It'll be safe, they said. No.
So it was really interesting learning a bit about some of these brand new cards which are coming, but now we're going to take some time to look at some of the pre-existing cards and delve into the lore a little bit more. So Adalbert has been cooking up something for the past few weeks, and he's very excited to share it with you.
Greetings! You play! You play, you play, you play! Perhaps lamely so, perhaps exceedingly well. But you put in hours, and so you think you know all there is to know about the cards. But you do not know what lies beyond them. So I am here to tell you what lies beyond the frame. To start, 3 women, all formidable. I knew them all, did what they commanded. The first, Jutta Undim. A sword maiden unparalleled. Since childhood, vowed before the goddess Freya she would only wed the man who would defeat her in a duel. Many brave lads of Faroe Isle attempted as much and failed, miserably so. Who do we see here? Yes, Jutta sat upon her Dukis, defeated, and whose shadow looms over her. 2 sword hilts erect over his shoulder. That's right, Witcher Geralt of Rivia. Wed, they did not. But other things. The second, Keira Metz. An eccentric, a hater of the filthy outdoors, a maker of aphrodisiacs, a user of aphrodisiacs, a pusher of aphrodisiacs. But upon the card, we see Keira emitting a kinetic blast. 'Twas at the Battle of Kaer Morhen, in the age when the Wild had descended upon the earth. A battle that swayed the world's fate, and at which Keira found her mate and partner in The Witcher, Lambert, And though we do not see Lambert on Keira's card, we do see Keira upon Lambert's card, flailing her arms about and sending elves flying. Alas, I was caught in one of her blasts. Yes, I was there too. Elsewise, I could not have brought you this tale. And last, the third of our formidable females, who alas, ended chained to a rock. Berna Bran, for of her I speak, widow of King Bran of Clan Tuirsech, mother of his firstborn son Svanrig. She had the will to power and did what was required, perpetrating a great massacre at a feast. But I ask you, what else did those gluttons deserve? And so I ventured down to the coast to witness and document her noble suffering, her slow but admirable waning whipped by winds and water. Alas, a gust tore the scroll from my hand, which slapped her across the face, rendering her suffering a trifle, a fact I much regret. There you have them, Gwenters, one and all, 3 formidable females. Join me next time for more words.
Yeah, I think she deserved it, right? The slap on her face.
With the newspaper.
It's just a paper.
It was harsh, but yeah, like actually getting to know the story behind the cards is really, really cool, because some of the things that he mentioned, like Yuta, for example, I didn't know it was Geralt's shadow.
No,
I didn't look at the cards so much to actually
True.
notice that. So it's good to get the background story and kind of, you know, like you guys said, the cards themselves, they already have a story, but to learn more and more is really, really cool. Yeah.
And I've seen that Lambert card so much, but I never realized Kira was in the background.
She's in the background.
Yeah, and the 2 cards
It's
like
like
relate.
the same scene, but in a different angle.
Yeah,
it's
it's
like,
Cool. It has like a you know 360 VR dimension.
Because we're used to the kind of trio card, so like the Shield Maidens or something, but this gives you a kind of, like a 360 view
it's
of
like
the
rotated.
situation.
Oh, yeah, and let me tell you that it's a nightmare for the animators.
Yeah, but the illustrations are usually like so good all the time that you know what's happening in the card, so it's actually not that difficult. It's only the concept that gets tricky sometimes, like with Siri, but most of the time it's like we know what's happening.
Yeah.
And we know the
Cool,
world.
so we can even
awesome.
go more complicated next time.
Yeah.
Oh, I shouldn't have
You
said
go
that.
crazy.
Yeah, I can take that back.
Okay, awesome. So now we're going to move on to the next segment of the show, which is one of our favorites, and this is the Community Corner.
All right, guys, welcome to the Community Corner. What I have for you today is actually a piece with me here.
Look at that.
And I'm gonna need your help, Ash, to
This is
unfold this
incredible.
beauty.
Redania, Mahaka
Lyria.
Mountains.
Yeah, here we go. Here, it's a map of the Witcher world, and it's really, really cool, handmade, and it's actually used in the Witcher school. So they use this map to
Look
kind
at
of
the
portray.
drawings here. It's really
Yeah,
nice.
it's nice little details. You have like Tucson, there's Temeria, Redania, all of them.
Yeah, they've even got the smaller places, like they've got Vengerberg, Rivia.
Yeah,
It's
No,
amazing.
that's where Yennefer is from.
yeah, of course. Yeah,
Nice.
I really like this one. Yeah, it's by Katarzyna Hummelt, and yeah, she made this, and they're like
good
I
job,
said,
It's a
they're-
little.
Yeah,
Someone died to make this.
yeah.
Oh,
It has a bloody hand here. I don't know what's up with that. Nothing good for sure. Let's fold this away. Moving on. I'll just put this here. Moving on. We also have an awesome shield. Yeah, cheers to you.
Cheers.
By Alejandro Anzolega, and he's known also as Mahakam Workshop on Facebook. And yeah, our shields are our ramparts, pretty much. Yeah.
I love this. It's like a full-sized Shield Maiden shield.
Yeah, and
It's
it
incredible.
looks totally like in the illustration. So.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really good.
Yeah.
Really, really good. I think you would need one to protect yourself. You
Yeah,
have the sword, but you don't
I have the sword,
shield.
but I don't have the shield.
You don't need it.
Yeah,
You're sort of a berserk and...
yeah, just
So, Uja, Shield Maiden cosplay confirmed.
Oh, that's the week of today? Tell me, yeah.
I could maybe next episode. Yeah. All right, moving on. It's Iberia Mademoiselle. That's the author.
Mademoiselle. Perfect.
Yeah, thank you. And it's a Temerian soldier, and it's really cool because it's a different twist to the character. And I really like the art style because it could like totally be a Gwent card.
Yeah, it looks like it's come straight from the studio and it should be part of the card collection.
Awesome work.
Also, we have 2 cosplays that we had with us at BGS, so Brazil Game Show.
Yeah, we know them pretty well.
Yeah, so Shermi and Nadia, Shermi cosplay and Nadia Sonica, and were shot by Bruno Antonucci Fotografia.
Speaking of shooting, they were a catapult at the show, right?
Yeah,
Yes,
we were just shooting.
There was a life-sized trebuchet or catapult at the Brazil Game Show.
Yeah, we're catapulting t-shirts.
Oh, just t-shirts.
Yeah.
No boulders.
No. It was safe. Everybody was safe.
No one got hurt.
Yeah. Also, I encourage you to send us your memes. So if you follow us on Facebook or Twitter, in the comment section you can add your own meme. And the meme we have today is the Nilfgaardian knight who is praising the sun. And it's like step by step. It's really cool.
Nice. Do you praise the sun every day?
Of course.
Several times a day.
Yeah,
It's so cold, you have to do that.
Yeah.
Poland is kind of cold nowadays, right?
Yeah.
Especially when there's winter time and it's cold. Yeah, praise the sun. And as always, I want you to send your plays of the month, so you have to go to playgwent.com/POTM. And simple as that.
So that was fantastic. It was really nice to see all of the creations in the community corner, in particular the like physical props which people are making. Maybe we could get a few sent and decorate the place around here. Okay, so that is the end of the show. I really hope you enjoyed learning some stuff from our guests this week, learning about the cards within Gwent. It's been really interesting hearing the behind the scenes, especially what the artists get up to here. It's been very informative.
And what the animators have to do.
It's not a secret anymore.
Hopefully we'll see some of that footage, soon.
Oh yeah, hope so.
Yeah.
Soon TM.
Yeah.
We have a lot to see.
Okay, so wonderful. Thank you so much for watching the show today. Really hope you enjoyed it, learnt something new, and we will see you on the next one very shortly.
Back, just like that. That was episode 4 for you. Premiered here, and it will be available still today on our YouTube channel. So if you missed it, you can go back and watch it. But we also promised something more. So we'll be showing you 20 cards, but these are not all the cards that you'll be able to see. Around mid-December, but don't quote me on this, we will have to the game coming around or a little bit over 109 cards coming to Gwent, the Witcher card game. So it's not 20, as you guys said, so it's going to be more.
It's basically the most confusing way of saying that. Like instead of over 100, you're like over 109 cards. It's like
Specifically.
you just want to confuse them.
It's pretty much, it's not 109, it's maybe a little bit over, a little bit less, but it's ballpark figure, as they say, pretty much, yeah. So those will be coming to the game, along with some of the other updates that you guys are working on.
Yeah, of course.
But we'll have many streams after this one. We'll be going by 20s, showing you each card, like number of cards, like 20, 20, 20, until we get to 100.
We'll see.
Yeah. And I think we should start with the 20 first.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So let's jump into the game.
Okay.
This one of course.
Yeah, this is the old card, so this is nothing new. But let me actually move to our first card that we want to show.
Here we go, Isengrim Outlaw.
Yes, this is actually presenting a new mechanic that we will be introducing with this patch. Because what he is doing, actually he introduces 2 mechanics. One is the choose one. So you will be able to choose one of 2 options. Sometimes it will be more than 2 options. And you'll be able to, to choose what the card is doing. So the first option in this situation is spawn a silver special card. What spawn a silver special card means is that you'll get a choice of 3 silver cards from the game, any cards from the game, and you'll be able to choose one of those, spawn it, and immediately play it. So this is basically the first option.
Okay.
And the second one is also a spawn mechanic,
but for the best faction.
Yes, but you could actually see that because he is a Skoyatel. gold. So basically, the other option is just to spawn a silver squattle unit. So you're getting any silver squattle unit from the game. You're getting 3 options. You can pick one of those, and you're just spawning and playing.
Simple as that.
Yes. So this is a Sengrim. It's relatively simple.
It's the second version. Let's
yeah,
say.
yeah, yeah. This card is obviously, let's say, designed for the second game mode, the future game mode. It can see a bit not reliable on the ladder, but again, I still think it will find some play, and it will be really, really amazing to play.
I will play it for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Trust me.
Okay, then let's move on.
This one you saw in episode 4. It's the Heim. Some of you were saying Udalaric. Yeah, on Udalaric's art, you can see the Heim behind him. And yeah, take it away.
Yeah, of course. So yeah, again, he's a choose one card. So because we actually with this patch wanted to make quite a few cards more versatile than we had up till now. So his first option is play a cursed unit from your deck. It's just simple. Basically, if you have any cursed units, like if you have any Berserkers, if you have, for instance, Morgvark, you can just play one of those units from the deck. And the other option is spawn, again, a silver unit from your opponent's deck. So you're taking all of the silver units in your opponent's deck. It will again roll 3 units out of this entire pool, and you'll be able to select one and spawn it and play it on the board. So basically, again, versatile card, so you can play it relatively solidly, let's say, with the first option if you're playing a cursed deck. But if you want to, you can take a risk and you can try to get something from your opponent's deck as well. So this is him.
Yep. I love the animation on this card. It's awesome.
Then the next one.
Weavis. A different Weavis. A gold Weavis.
Yeah, gold Weavis.
Incantation. So she's a relic, she's a mage. I sense your pain, I sense your fear. Yeah, she says that. That's really, really cool. I like that in the flavor text. But moving on to the ability.
So as you can see, we have a trend here because this is another one that is a choose one. And what this one does, it basically can strengthen all of your allied relics by 2. All of your relics in the dex, relics on the board, stuff like that. Or you can play a bronze or silver relic from your deck and strengthen it by 2. So it's either just a general buff to your units, or you can just select a relic that you really need and just play it immediately. So yeah, this one is much more reliable in a structured gameplay, of course.
I like how you're hinting slowly into the second game mode, like giving little tiny hints into it.
But this is basically it. So there you have it. Obviously, art is creepy because she's really creepy.
She doesn't. I don't think she looks happy, like with all the crows flying around.
Yeah, me neither. But I think you dig her.
Yeah, that's my thing. New Letho.
Yeah, your boy.
New Letho.
Your boy Letho.
Letho the Kingslayer. Wow, this reminds me of The Witcher. So I've been recently playing The Witcher 2 again since I finally got a proper PC, and I'm enjoying the game so much.
You could recognize him from right after the prologue, because this is how he looked right after the prologue. And of course, again, we're following the trend of choose one. So you can select one of 2 Witchers. I mean, lethals. The first one can destroy an enemy leader on the board and set self to 11, because he was a Kingslayer, obviously.
Leader Slayer in this case.
Yes. And the second one allows you to play a bronze or silver tactic from your deck. So basically a tutor card.
Nice.
Yeah, again, really reliable choice if you're playing against any opponent with a leader. So I would say against any player.
Yeah. I just feel bad for Foltest on the ground.
No, you don't.
I do.
You hate Foltest.
No, I like Foltest.
But you like always Koya.
Yeah, but you know.
Okay.
I like to experiment from time to time.
Okay, let's not explore that.
Let's not explore that.
Yeah, so this is another card that you could have seen in the Round of Gwent.
Episode 4 of A Round of Gwent. So it's Geralt Yrden. And this ability is quite simply written, but what does it mean?
Actually, if we're talking about, writing simpler, we actually tried to make our tooltips a lot simpler and not over complex as we.
Yeah, I remember one day I walked into your room and I saw Retas going through each card and then changing the tooltips. I was like, "Are you gonna do this for all cards?" He's like, "Yeah," and you just kept on going. This is just unbelievable.
Basically, we trust you guys that you'll understand the simple tooltips.
Yeah.
So what he does, exactly what he says. He resets all units, so resets them to their base power, and removes their tokens. So if they were locked, if they were, I don't know, resilient, stuff like that, everything will be cleared. He'll clear the entire board.
Nice.
Just like that.
Just like that.
So there's nothing to add here.
Yep.
Let's move on.
Oh, now my favorite premium. I mean, everybody's favorite premium.
Yeah, let's
right
just wait for the premium.
Yeah.
I'll not be saying anything. Here we go.
There we go. Wahaha.
This is the stuff. Okay, so this one actually has something new. It's again a new mechanic that we're introducing with the upcoming patch.
Duel.
Obviously, you can recognize this guy from The Witcher 2 again. He was one of the cursed soldiers, right? Actually, of the cursed commanders. He is dueling an enemy. What dueling means? Dueling means you will select a target on the opponent side of the board, and then you will deal as much damage to him as you have power. But then this opponent will return in the same way. So, for instance, if you would attack an 11 right now, he would deal 7 damage to this 11 points worth of unit. So the unit would go down to 4, but then this 4 damage would be dealt to you, because this is how duel works.
Nice.
Obviously, with this outcome, you would just destroy the unit with the second try, because you would have 6 power, because the 4 damage that was dealt by the target would just barely get through your armor, and then you would be able to finish it off. But this is basically how it works.
I think I'll play more Northern Realms now.
Yeah,
because this is epic. I'm really into this.
Yeah, but you want to play it only because of the art, right?
No, I want to play because of the ability. The ability is awesome. Like duel as a mechanic for me is just crazy.
Yeah. It's really fun, but you need to count. Like you really need to think before playing.
Now this is what I've been waiting for.
Yeah, now this is something for you.
Saskia Dragonfire and this ability, when I first saw it on paper, like totally blew my mind. I mean, you banish your hand and you draw that many cards. It's simple as that, but it's like, oh my god, this is...
Yeah, you love it.
Yeah.
You were saying that you really love it. It's like resetting your hand. Because basically what you're doing is you're getting rid of your entire hand, but you're not putting it in the graveyard. You're just banishing all of these cards, and then you're drawing as many cards. So obviously, if you have only 2 cards left, you can just banish 2 cards and draw 2 cards to your hand. But if you have a really not that good draw at the very beginning,
you can pretty much reset your hand.
You could be crazy, You could just play Saskia and get 9 new cards, because obviously you played her, so you'll have only 9 cards left on your hand.
This might also encourage players to add a little bit more cards to your deck, because if you instantly have her in your hand and you have only bronzes, you could most likely play her, and then but what you get is you never know what you're gonna get. So it's crazy, but the ability is great. It's really great.
Yeah, and the art is really great as well.
Yeah, of course. I mean, kudos to the artists and animators. They just do an astonishing job.
Yeah. So more dragons.
Yeah.
It's always good.
I'm the Ludus saying I can't take anymore. It's like, this is only the beginning. This is only the beginning.
Okay, let's move on. So Cadaverin. I actually had problems with pronouncing that before, but yeah, let's actually
Hangman's Venom.
Ignore that, because it is Hangman's Venom, and it's actually easier to pronounce that. So we're gonna choice card. You're able to choose between either select a target and deal 2 damage to this target, and all of the targets that share the same category. So for instance, you're targeting Clan Tursek, all of the guys from Clan Tursek will get damaged by 2.
Bye.
Or you can just select to destroy a bronze or silver neutral unit. So the unit that is, pulled from the neutral decks, not from any faction deck.
Nilfgaard.
So yeah, relatively simple. It's actually pretty good against constructed decks that like for instance cursed decks or elf decks, dwarf decks, things like that.
Not elf decks. For sure not elf decks.
You have elf in elf decks, like imagine...
Why would you hurt elves? I mean, come on.
Because you played 5 elves, Elrian just popped in, so you just can use this and deal solid 12 damage. But
Talking about elves.
speaking on elves, yeah, exactly. So this is Milan, and what she does is she deals 4 damage to the units at the end of the row. What at the end of the row means? It just means that this will hit the unit on the far left and on the far right. And that's basically it. If there's only one unit, she will only deal 4 damage. She will not deal the damage twice, just so you know. But yeah, relatively simple. It's basically if you'll see somebody stacking weak units on the edges of the row, you can just you know get rid of them. So let's move on to Striga or Striga.
Striga. You might notice this monster.
Yeah.
Or
So
cursed girl, simply.
exactly.
Yeah.
So those of you that don't know what Striga is, it's actually a cursed princess.
Yes.
But let's focus
Play
on her
whichever one.
ability.
Play
yeah,
whichever
yeah.
one,
You can
yeah.
play whichever one or read books. Or
Yeah.
Basically.
You'll know what's going on.
Yeah, I think it was in The Last Wish.
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
So what she does, she deals 8 damage to a non-monster unit. As you can see, she's a bit above the average power of silver units.
Yep.
But this is because she is a bit restricted. Like
Yes.
she can only target non-monster
Non-monster,
units.
yeah.
So if you'll encounter a monster player, you'll be only able to target neutral units
Yeah.
in that deck.
Only specific units, exactly.
So yeah, so it's simple as that. And I think this one actually will shine in the new mode as well.
Yep.
So moving on from princesses to
More cursed people.
to cursed
So
people
Duran.
that have a really tough life right now.
Yeah. He doesn't look too happy.
Yeah, so if you read the ability, it's basically a better axeman because
Yeah.
this is the axeman. I mean, the axeman. This works like the axeman, so he'll get boosted whenever an enemy is damaged, but the enemy doesn't need to be on the opposite row. It can be enemy wherever. Sorry.
Wherever.
So yeah, so basically this is it. And let's move on from cursed people to more cursed people.
But a beast that is cursed, and his name is Vincent.
Yeah, you can recognize him. He's a werewolf. He's not fully transformed in this art yet.
Yes,
So.
he's. This isn't his final form, as they would say.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure quite a few of you will
We'll
recognize
recognize him. Yeah.
So obviously it's an Orphan Realm unit, and it's an Orphan Realm unit that supports the armor archetype. Because what he does is he destroys the armor of all units on the board, not only yours, not only your enemies.
Nice.
It's all the armor, and then it takes half of that value and puts him on himself as a boost.
Nice. That's crazy.
Yes. So, yeah, this is Vincent.
Mm-hmm.
He's really cool. And moving on to
Yes,
the lesser
my
demons.
favorite duo, the
Quite
cat and the dog.
Yeah, quite a few people requested
Yes,
that
from
one.
Hearts of Stone. If you played it, if you
Yeah.
haven't played it, you should.
You should. It's a
Yeah.
really cool quest, and these two are actually really cool.
Yeah.
So what these units are doing? I mean, this unit. You play this unit, then you're able to select any unit from your deck. So it can be a gold unit,
Yeah.
it can be silver unit, it can be any unit that you want to. But the drawback is, after you have drawn the unit, then you discard a random card from your hand. This is basically
So you get
the
something
gamble.
good, but you might lose something
Yeah,
good.
this is your gamble. It's like it's basically like that. We just want you to have a bit. I mean, let's say we want you to have control over your gamble. It's not like full control, but you get the idea. So yeah, so these are lesser demons. They are not cursed. They are just relics. So
Yes.
it's good. It's good.
What was that?
And-
Shield.
Yeah,
So
and
yeah, we already teased a couple swords, but we also have shields.
Yes.
Yeah.
So now you know that we will have items in the game.
Yeah, we kind of teased items a little bit before, but we actually have. Previously, we just showed the art, but now we can actually show the art and the abilities. So
Yeah.
take it away.
So item is a kind of a special card. I mean, it's a category of a special card. So what this one is doing, it allows you to select a card in your hand and then take the base power of this selected card and put it as a boost on a unit on your board. So if you'll
Nice.
select like a Manticore, you'll be able to get a lot of points
Good.
on your board. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
So this was our special item. And we have another special item coming.
Bone Talisman.
Yeah. This one is obviously a Skellige card, as you can see.
Yeah.
And what it does, it resurrects, I mean, it allows you to choose again I totally forgot to say that. It allows you to resurrect a bronze beast, so you can resurrect any of your bears that you have in your graveyard. Or you can heal an ally and strengthen it by 3. So again, a choice, either resurrect a bear or actually resurrect a beast. But obviously, I know that you'll choose bears. Or heal an ally and strengthen it by 3. It will probably be really good in a cursed
Yeah, it gives you
bear
2
decks.
options.
So yeah, moving on to
The
another,
winch.
Yeah, to another card that this one actually was hard to come up with.
Yeah.
Because you see the winch and you're like,
You told me that
What we
like
can do
trying
with
to
it.
think of an art for this, like
Yes.
it's quite difficult. Like how am I
Yes.
supposed to like make winch cool? And there's like, if you see, there's a little mouse there on the winch on the handle, which is really cool.
yeah. You should just take a screenshot of this card and just zoom in on the mouse. Actually, the detail there is amazing.
It's amazing, yeah.
So what this card does, it spawns again. So it takes all of the Northern Realm machines from the game, it puts them into the pool, then it takes 3 units out of that pool and allows you to select 1, play it, and boost it by 2.
Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah, it's really good ability. This one, I think actually this one will be played on ladder,
Yeah.
because it's the pool of the cards is more reliable in this situation. So basically this is it. And then let us move to Peasant Militia.
Peasant Militia. Yeah, I recognize these faces from somewhere. I think it's from somewhere around our studio. But yeah, pretty much what it does, it fills the role with peasants. We won't go into numbers and specifics, but I can tell you it fills the role with peasants, and I think we should leave it at that. That's the information I got from a certain source called Rethus, of course. So this is pretty much the ability, and you see that the
Peasant itself.
Yeah, the peasant itself is just 1 power.
Yeah,
right?
just 1 power with no ability and just with a soldier tag, and
Yep.
that's it. So this is basically Peasant Militia. And moving on to Half-Elf Hunter.
Square-tail stuff.
Yeah, so this one is really simple. It's a soldier, it's an elf. When you play it, it'll just spawn a base copy of himself,
Exactly.
like next to him. Actually, you'll be able to select where you want to play the copy, but this is basically it. Nothing really complex about this one. Just if you want some presence on the board, you can play him. And that's basically it.
Yep.
So moving on, we have,
Viper Witcher.
it's basically a Witcher from the Viper Skull.
Exactly.
So from the Lithos Skull, if you remember.
Yep.
Like if you actually would, if you recall The Witcher 2 and Oaks and Serit, they were from the Viper Skull as well. And this is why, they look so similar to this guy. But what he does, if you play him alone, he's just 7 power that deals 3 damage. But you can increase the damage dealt by 1 for each alchemy card that you have in your initial deck.
This is gonna be nice.
This means this counts the alchemy cards in your deck when you're going into the game. So these are the alchemy cards that you put in your deck builder. So if you spawn any more alchemy cards, they will not be counted into that. This will only count the cards that you put during the deck building phase.
This is gonna be good.
So this will reward your deck building. Okay. So let's move on to our
Werewolf.
last card. So again, a cursed boys.
Yeah.
and
And a beast.
So as you can see, he has one really simple keyword there, which is immune.
Immune.
And what immune does? Immune is actually again a new mechanic that allows this card not to be targeted by anything. If you have any card that targets, like anything that shoots something like Alzur Standard, like anything that requires putting a manual target on a card, this one can't be affected by it. It can still be affected by AoE attacks and raw attacks and weather, obviously. You just can't target it.
Yeah.
So if you want to actually boost it with Swallow Potion, you will not be able to do that as well.
He's immune to that.
So this is it. And his other part of the ability is Strengthen by 7 on contact with Moonlight.
Moonlight.
And this is actually a mystery, but it actually hints that we will probably have a Moonlight in the game.
Yes.
But I will not be talking about Moonlight this time, because we will show you the Moonlight, but later.
Yes, that's the plan. I want it to be in the next showcase that we do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you can expect more units that will work with Moonlight. You can expect us to tell you what Moonlight is, and this was the last card
Soon
for today.
Soon TM.
Yes, soon TM.
Yeah, so what we should do now, most likely, is I'll use this magical keyboard to show you guys something. Let me just see if this, oh, perfect, it works. So, let's show this on screen. If you go to playgwent.com right now, you will have a new tab. Like if you scroll down in the main section, you can see something called card reveals. And if you click on it to see more, you will see a new part of the website where we actually have these cards that we showed you today. And you can check them out, read all their abilities, and you can, of course, go to the forums and discuss everything, that what you think this is going to work or not going to work, or with what this is going to work. Tell us everything you want to know.
Yeah, you know,
that's why we're here. And I mean, this website is just great. I'm really happy because we finally got this project underway, and we're gonna most likely be doing this for every card reveal that we do. So pretty much, if you scroll down, you see that there are many cards that are still not uncovered. So this is pretty much the place where you can have everything. So you don't need to post everything on Reddit. You don't need to post everything on forums. You don't need to make any more, articles, stuff. You have it all here. You just have to go here and just go through them. Yeah. So that's that. As I mentioned before, we'll have more streams where we'll show the remaining cards. Next week, what we'll also have is something called Faction Challenge. And I won't go into specifics, but you can pretty much expect that it's going to be something cool around factions and probably them battling each other. So I hope you like that. Don't forget that this weekend is Gwent Slam number 3. So you have to go to Life Coach's channel and check it out. I think it starts on Saturday at 1 o'clock and on Sunday it's at 3 o'clock. CET, of course. Yeah. I think that's pretty much it. Yeah. As I mentioned, and I'll mention it again, there will be a bit over 109 cards coming to the game.
This is such a weird way.
I know, but I like it that way.
Doesn't make any sense.
And it's going to be like most likely mid-December, mid-endish December. I also like to try, give us a little bit more space. Yeah. So what I encourage you to do is, check out the cards again, go to our forums, discuss them. And I hope you like this. We'll be doing more streams very soon. So just check them out. And I think that's pretty much that. Any closing statements that you want to pass on?
Yeah, I don't think so. I think you covered everything.
Cool. All right, guys. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed Round of Gwent episode 4. And I hope you enjoyed the first reveal. Like I said, more are coming. And we'll see you next time. Thank you for the love. And yeah, take care.
See you next time.